Well, what's going on social media, family and friends? It's your main man, Joe Dupree. 100 BLK, the Black Station, on this 28th day of June. And in the back of my head, all I hear is funny how time flies when you're having fun. And
That's right.
oh my goodness, have time not been moving? We are in the building. It is another Wellness Wednesday. Yours truly, along with Edward J. Brown from Positive Choices Counseling Service, talking about mental health, because a healthy you
is a better you.
That part right there. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm here, man. I'm good. What's going on with you, man? It's countdown to get down for you, ain't it?
It is countdown to the 2023 Essence Music Festival. Actually, tomorrow is the opening press conference. And really, a lot of folks don't know, tomorrow is actually the official opening day of a lot of events. But as you know,
is the marketplace open tomorrow?
I'm really not sure, because I'm not going to be down there tomorrow. I'm actually not going to make it there until Friday morning. But Friday morning, do rest assured that at the Montreal Convention Center, just like the Zulu Ball, is going to be wide open, and everybody and their mama going to be in the place. So definitely keep it locked in to all my social media. I will be posting what's going on, where it's going on, where the eats is at, where the food, where the fun, where the frolically, where the fans are at, and where all the big stars are going to be. I'm definitely going to let you know. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're going to be talking.
Man, listen, it's a good thing to have brothers like you down there. For a number of reasons. That Radio Row thing, you know, it's a lot of folks that do a lot of fluff. And then it's a lot of folks that ask questions that true fans and real people want to know. So I'm looking forward to seeing anything that you go live with, anything that you post, because if it's one brother that's going to get to the bottom of those questions that folks want to know, I know it's going to be you.
Well, look, brother, I'm going to be straight up with you. This year, I'm going to start asking some of these folks some serious questions, because we're dealing with serious issues. We're dealing with we're dealing with a lot of stuff on a lot of fronts. And listen, family, it's not easy for anyone these days. Anyone. I mean, literally, I see every day with, let's call it what it is: high inflation, high incarceration, high just being able to live without wondering, if I go to the mall today, will there be a mass shooting? If I go to my church, will some maniac walk in and try to shoot up the place
and try to kill us? Correct.
Right. Will I send my kids off to school to learn and become better little people who become grown people later? But will some maniac walk inside there and take my child's life before it's way too early? You know, what is going on every time? And this is crazy. Even though everybody don't know everything I do, even when I'm dressed like I'm dressed right now and I'm driving, and a black and white, a police officer or someone in law enforcement gets behind me, I get a little funny feeling in my stomach.
And you are law enforcement. And you are law enforcement, right? Yeah. Now that says a lot. That says a lot. The police make the police nervous.
I'll be like, man, I hope they realize who I am. You know,
come on, man.
And then, you know, let me give you another prime example. I'm gonna make you really laugh. I just got an email from Essence. I'm gonna look at it when I turn it over to you. But Friday, I'm going to a great city, my brother's hometown.
Yes, sir.
And I've already made a checklist of things I am and not going to do. Hey, there's certain times I'm not going to pull up to the gas station and try to put gas in my car, because things happen in New Orleans. There's certain places I'm not going to try to walk around with those large crowds, because you never know what could happen. You know, that is crazy. And that's where we do this Wellness Wednesday, because all this messes with your mind. It messes with your mind. It makes it that you're not in a good place of balance when it comes down to your mental health, because you got so much worry on your mind.
Why should we be stressed to go to a festival?
Right.
You know what I mean? The term festive is in itself should bring about relaxation, fun. But instead, for us, we have to start thinking of cautiousness and concern and be a little bit more in tune. Why?
Right.
Shouldn't we be able to go and be amongst more than 3 black people and not have anxiety, not be looking over our shoulder, hoping somebody don't start something. That's what we do. And now, here's the thing. We can't blame that on the white man. That's us.
Come on.
Oh, well, institutionalized. Well, we got to break the cycle.
Right. We have to understand this time it's hold it. That should be a theme we should start using. This time it's on us.
It's on us.
This time it's on us. If you want your neighborhood, if you want your first, let me start it off with us. If you want things in your life to start getting in order, remember this time it's on you.
It's on us.
Right. Hey, if you want your house in order, you got to start doing what you need to do because this time it's on us. If you want your street in order, you got to say this time it's on us. If you want your neighborhood in order, this time it's on us. See, you got to stop waiting for somebody to point at and say, you're the reason it's not happening, and look the man or the woman in the mirror and say, I'm the reason it's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, Edward J. Brown.
I love these segues right here because it's like setting me up to knock it out the park. What we talking about today, and what I think we should, put in the forefront and the podcast be about today is accountability. Who are we going to hold accountable for the things we want to come to pass? If we go down to Essence this weekend, and there is any type of harm that comes to anybody at the hands of a person that look just like them, we got to look at us. We have to start looking at things that we can control. I'll show you what I mean. I remember during Bayou Classic, and the Sheraton was just built. It was the hotel to be, right across the street from the Marriott, which was the other hotel to be at. And I started noticing they would turn off the escalators. They would literally turn off the escalators. And you had to walk up the steps. You couldn't just ride up the escalator. And the people started saying, well, why y'all turn the escalator? Oh, well, we turn it off at a certain time every day. And then there was all those folks that would speak up. I was here last week for the Sugar Bowl, and y'all didn't turn it off for the Sugar Bowl last year. So we have to start looking at things we can control. We can't control stuff like that. We can stop spending our money in those places, but that's another show. When we start looking at harm being perpetrated on another person because we disagreed or we don't like or you did something, that's on us.
Right.
I'm challenging anybody, whether this go out into the world with energy or whatever. I hope it touches at least 10,000 people's heart. You should not do harm to anyone this weekend.
Come on.
There should be no harm done to anybody this weekend that comes to Essence. This is a festival of culture. This is us. Who are we going to blame this time? So who should we hold accountable starting tomorrow? My brother works down there. He tunes in every Wednesday. My brother works down there. I wouldn't want him to have to hurt some fool for trying to step to him crazy for no reason. I wouldn't want anybody to harm him. Right. We have to hold ourselves accountable for the actions that we do.
Right.
We have right now the airlines. There is not an airline that is not booked. Every flight. Starting from Thursday to Sunday night.
Come on.
Do you know that every flight going in and out is booked to capacity?
Right. Hold it. There are people who have been posting that their flights have been getting canceled because, of course, as you know, today there was a tragedy leaving from one airport going into Charlotte where the landing gear didn't come out and the people had to make an emergency landing. And thank God that plane landed correctly And even though the landing gear at the nose area didn't come out, those pilots had enough training that they landed that aircraft without minimal injury to anybody. So I like to applaud them for that.
Yeah, give them their props, man. Know your craft, craft.
Right.
But we have 100,000 people converging on New Orleans. There should be zero harm done to a person of color or anyone in New Orleans this weekend. We should show. We always talk about we're gonna show up and show out. This is the time to do it, because trust me, there's people sitting back waiting for the slightest negativity to post about Essence Music Festival of Culture.
Hold it, and watch this. This is the largest music festival in the United States of America. And outside of Mardi Gras, it is the second largest event that occurs in the state of Louisiana. Not just New Orleans, in the state of Louisiana. It is the second largest event outside of Mardi Gras.
And we don't think that we need to show off our beauty inside and out.
Come on, speak on it.
We don't think we need to show like a peacock. We should raise our hands and we should be able to show the beauty that is Blackness for the next 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, coming to a conclusion on Sunday.
Listen, if y'all want to join in on the conversation, give us a call. Don't pay attention to the top number. Let's go with the bottom number. If you want to call and tell us what are you, if you're going down to New Orleans this weekend, what is your biggest concern? Or what is your biggest joy? 225-250-8770. You can call us now. The phone lines are open. Let's continue the conversation.
Yeah, I've known people and I've met people who said, I always wanted to go to Essence, but it's too many of us in one place. And that always broke my heart.
Right. Why are you scared of you?
Breaks my heart for us to think that way.
Why are you scared of you?
Yeah. Who taught you what? What Malcolm said?
Who taught you to hate yourself?
Yeah. So I think that if we don't do some accountability checks, if we don't do some accountability, we're never going to really look at an issue for what it sure enough is.
Come on.
And that is the fact that we do not know self. We do not hold each other accountable. I was looking at, I had staff meeting today, and the issue came up of the young 14-year-old boy who killed the guy for beating his mom.
Right.
And one of the things that I was talking about during the conversation is there were other men in that restaurant.
Right, standing around just watching.
There were other men in that restaurant.
Because we don't want to get involved.
I'm not saying you got to jump in between, but somebody used to say, hey, brother, man, shut up. Well, I just need to talk. Now, at least the focus is off of him and the woman. Right. At least put it on him and another man.
Come on.
We have to start being accountable for one another to the point where that young boy, 14 years old, should have never had to intervene on behalf of his mother. There were other men. He has not crossed over the rites of passage yet.
Hold it. And let me say this. I'm glad you brought this up because I want to know how people feel about this. The question that has not been answered by me or for me yet is I saw the hit, then I heard the bang. That was a quick bang. So that means that young 14-year-old boy was walking around in Chicago, 14, with a gun.
But didn't she send him to the car? She sent him to the car and he came back.
She did. Okay.
Yeah. So when the argument started, she sent him to the car, not to get the gun, but to get away from this man that was being very threatening. She said, just go to the car. He came back with the gun.
Oh, so the gun must have been in the car. It probably was her gun.
Yeah, it was. And she's a registered gun owner.
See. So once again, They always try to make it seem like, oh,
No,
you know, the Second Amendment don't work for us. Listen,
no.
had that been my mama, your mama, anybody else's mama, I believe all of us would have did the same thing.
Yeah, it would have transpired the same way. You know, if especially if there was a gun accessible. I believe that we have to talk about accountability. We have to talk about, you know, why are we not engaging one another on a level of nurturing? If this brother told that woman, say one more word, because I watched the part of the video, say one more word, I swear I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. At some point, a brother should say, look, brother, man, look, I ain't talking. I know you're not talking to me, but can I talk to you for a minute? And then I'm shooing the sister to go on about your business. Just go. Just leave. And now the focus is not on him and a woman, but it's on him and a man.
Right.
But instead, we sat there and we watched this brother beat this sister. Shame on them brothers that was in there.
Right.
Shame on them. And they should be ashamed of to look themselves in the mirror. You know, we have all lost our temper. We've all maybe said and even done things that we didn't need to do.
Correct.
But at some point, am I my brother's keeper?
Right. Am I my sister's keeper?
Am I my sister's keeper? I got a t-shirt that I, you know, my fetish with t-shirts. I got a t-shirt. It says simply protect Black women.
Come on.
That's all it says. Protect Black women. Because, you know, we live in a community with tons of Black women. And if we don't protect them, who will?
Correct. That's the question.
Who will?
That's the question.
I think at the end of the day, we're taking this podcast and this opportunity. I see my brother made a post about, we were talking about accountability and holding people accountable. If we don't understand the power that we have with one another, we definitely ain't going to understand the power we have when it comes to economic power and social power. You know, if these people are sitting here saying they ain't going to serve Black folks or they closing when Essence come, then guess what? You should stay closed after Essence as well.
Right.
You're close to me permanently.
Right.
You're close to me permanently. So, but at the end of the day, we have to hold each other accountable. You know, I look at you and I told you before we went on there, I said, man, go down there and be you. Hold these people accountable. Ask these celebrities the tough questions. Yeah, I know it's time to have a good time and we're going to be, you know, we're going to have fun and all that. But there's some questions we want to know.
Right.
And not a lot of people are answering that, asking these questions. There's certain things that's going on, like what my brother said. If there's a restaurant that's not serving Black or they closed because it's Essence, we need to know that. We need to make a list and make sure right after Essence closed down, we pass that list out. When everybody leave on Sunday, on Monday, that list that you open up now because you didn't want to deal with Black people. I know there was an issue, and I'll say it. There was an issue with Deanie's, one of the Deanie's or something, a major seafood restaurant down in New Orleans, and there had been a rumor that they were not going to serve certain people during Essence.
Wow.
And man, the word got out. And before you know it, this brother did a whole this white boy did a whole press conference on the news in New Orleans. That is not what he said. He did not. He welcomes the people from Essence, just like he does. But the thing about it is how quickly he came to the defense because he did not want to be the target of that economic power.
Right, right. And we got to realize our dollars have power. When we unite our dollars and target them in a proper direction, we have economic power to bring about change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not just economic, but social.
Come on.
Do you know when Essence was talking about shopping the Essence Festival of Culture around to other cities, people went crazy?
Right.
Not just people in New Orleans, but people who've made this an annual mecca for them.
Right.
Every year. They was like, we don't want to go nowhere. We want to go to New Orleans. We want Essence to stay in New Orleans.
Look, I was at a press conference.
Accountability.
With the CEO of Essence, who made it crystal clear that Essence is not leaving New Orleans. The one time it did leave New Orleans because of Katrina. The tragedy of Katrina and was in Houston, people were very dissatisfied. So let me tell you what that says to me. Something that I've always known since the first day I set my foot in the great state of Louisiana. I tell people all the time, this is a very magical place. Absolutely. This place has magical people. And when you go down to the, now I'm going to make him laugh. When you go down to the city of, state of, country of, continent of, world of New Orleans.
New Orleans is not Louisiana.
It is its own city, state, country, continent, planet. When you go down to the planet of New Orleans,
yes, sir. You're right. You're right.
You might go down there and hold it. And this is for everybody who's watching this podcast today, because we always say a healthy you is a better you. Please, family, let me say this to you. Let me say this to you because y'all don't know. Last weekend, I had the awesome opportunity because of an event to deal with my fraternity. I was in Dallas, Texas. Dallas Heat is Dallas Heat. Don't get me wrong. Dallas Heat is hot. But Dallas Heat ain't got nothing on this Louisiana Heat. I'm just telling you. So family, if you're flying in from New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, if you're coming in from wherever you're coming in, don't get down there in New Orleans and not be well hydrated and make your hydration them grenades. Because if you hydrate on them grenades and them hurricanes, you're gonna have a major issue, and somebody gonna be picking you up off that hot concrete. And let me tell you something, with this sweltering heat around here and these indexes of 115, your heart might decide to tell you, I've done all I can do and can't do no more. I don't want you to go to the Essence Music Festival of Culture and I'm gonna get ugly. I saw a meme that almost was like the submarine meme when it came down to the guy who hit the lady in the store that you were talking about earlier. It said he went in for a burger and left out with some wings.
Man.
So listen.
Man, the internet is undefeated.
I'm gonna sound like mystical here. Don't need you to go down to Essence. Leave out of New Orleans. See, you come down to New Orleans for a hurricane, for a grenade, for you go down there for the gumbo, you come down there for the seafood, but I don't need you leaving New Orleans with some wings. I just don't.
I'm telling
Take care of yourself, family.
The internet is undefeated, man. The internet is undefeated. You know, we got to start talking real conversations about accountability.
Come on.
You know, we have to. If we all go down to Essence and you decide that you are your brother's keeper, no one should leave there any different than they went.
Right.
No one should leave there any different than they went. Not without a stab wound, a bullet wound. You might have a hangover, but you should not be physically in a different condition than you went there. And we have to start looking out for each other.
Yeah. And brothers and sisters, while you're down there, please just do that. Look out for each other. If you see a sister and she seems vulnerable, let her know. Say, sister, where your friends at? Where your people at?
You all right? You okay?
Right. You okay? See, we've got to do that. We've got to do that. We've got to be committed to that, because guess what? Guess what you need to say to everyone you encounter? This could be my mother. This could be my sister. This could be my wife or my significant other. This could be my daughter. This could be somebody who is near and dear to me. And I would only want them to be in their most vulnerable moment. I would want somebody to take care of them and shield them and protect them from the wiles of this world. And there's a lot of wiles in this world.
It's not a sign of weakness. It is not an issue of not minding my own business. Yes, sometimes it's good to mind your own business. But then sometimes it's our responsibility as human beings to step up and say, hey, man, you know, I see what's going on right here. Brother, calm down. We don't need an incident between you and this lady or you and this brother or ladies. Calm down. Because there was a video of a big brawl that happened in the Walmart right down the street from my mother's house in New Orleans, where children was getting hit by grown women. So my thing is, at some point, I'm going to say it at least 50 times before we get off this podcast tonight. I need to hold my people accountable, just like I would love for y'all to hold me accountable. If you see something going on, let's think about prevention. Because the alcohol is going to be flowing, and whenever there's alcohol, there's tempers. Because alcohol gives individuals false courage.
Right.
It takes away inhibitions. And I'm just praying that everyone looks at the other person and say, that's me. I'm not going to hurt me. You go there and you're going to enjoy some great music. New Orleans is going to always deliver the great food.
Right. And it's going to be great hospitality. Hold up.
And then it's going to be, folks are going to meet each other. Listen, where else can you go? And it'd be 100,000 people from all over the country. All over converging on one place at one time. Come on. I challenge folks, instead of getting in the humbug, meet each other.
Come on.
Where you from? I believe there's some white people that live in Nebraska. Some black people live in Nebraska. They might come to New Orleans.
Right. Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota.
I challenge anybody else to find me a black person from Nebraska. That's what I want to do.
That ain't going to be that hard. Here's what we need to find. I need to find one from Idaho, Alaska, and I need one from...
My cousin live in Alaska now.
I need one from South Dakota.
Okay, so I'll go with you from Idaho and South Dakota. All right, Essence folks. Take a picture with their driver's license.
Find me somebody.
From Idaho or South Dakota. How about that?
That's it. That's the challenge. Hold it. Be exact. If you find us somebody who looks like us, that is a person of color from Idaho or South Dakota, and you take a picture, you can block out all their pregnant information. We got a prize for you. Since we love t-shirts, we will have you an Essence. I got an Essence t-shirt for you.
All right.
You got to
inbox me. I got a positive choice of t-shirt for you.
You got to inbox me proof that person is by driver's license. You got that they are a resident of Idaho or South Dakota.
South Dakota. Good God Almighty.
Better yet, I'm gonna throw in a bonus. Or if they're from the great state of Maine.
Maine, oh shit. Hey, look, and that ain't M-A-N-E.
Right. I didn't say Maine. I didn't say Maine. We ain't talking bad Maine. We ain't talking super Maine. We talking about the great state of Maine.
Hey man, this podcast took a turn tonight.
Look, family, but listen. Now there is some things I do want y'all. Look, so I'm here on with my brother, and y'all don't know. This year, at the beginning of this year, so just to show you, this is how the buddy system works. We both partaked in the HBCU Legacy Bowl, football Legacy Bowl, which was at Tulane Stadium. Be exact, my brother here gave me a lot of good education about that area of New Orleans. I go there a lot, but I call that like the Garden District. It's a very posh area of New Orleans, some very beautiful homes. But but he gave me some education, and me and this brother, we stayed in the same hotel. We rolled with each other. We kept up with each other. We talked to one another. See, a lot of folks don't. So let me let the cat out the bag. Here's why a lot of brothers are really good friends of mine. They just won't want to tell y'all that this is why they're good. See, I don't drink alcohol. So I'm always the designated driver. So, which is a good thing. I'm designated driver with my brother because I want my people to get back to wherever we came from safe and sound. And I get it. And I want them to have a good time. So one thing is when you're rolling with me, Edwards that way, Ty Sterling's that way. I can give you a list of folks. That's the reason why they love rolling with JD, because they know one thing JD ain't gonna do. He ain't gonna drink because he don't drink. So you can have your libations, enjoy yourself, because when we get pulled over, they can breathalyze me all day. They're gonna get zeros across the board.
Hey, look, and they don't want to breathalyze me because I'm too drunk to do this breathalyze.
So, you know? But what you're gonna find out is we look out for each other. Let me give you a prime example. This brother right here, I'm gonna tell you how. Now, let me show you where your mental health matters. We stayed at a lovely hotel, and then we went to go grab something to eat. Name of the place. What was the name of the place we went to grab something to eat with the long line of Neo's? So listen, if you're in New Orleans, I highly recommend, though I didn't taste one piece of food there, go to Neo's. Go to Neo's. If you can make your way, go.
3-day wait line. But
right. You might have to get put on the waiting list tonight to just get you a plate on Saturday afternoon, but do that because Neo's is off the chain. But I had never heard of this place. This brother told me, hey man, this is where we need to go. Now, I used to, before I met Brother Edward Brown back in my Grambling days, I used to have a brother from New Orleans, and when we went there, we would go and hang out at a place called Bertha's underneath the Claiborne Bridge. Now Bertha's, I heard, I don't know how true it is. I pray it's not the truth, but if it is, somebody let me know. I heard that Bertha's burned down. And I hated that when I heard that, because I was like, man, that was my spot.
I got video of me and my boy at Bertha's just a few, not long ago, right before it burned down.
Oh Lord. So there are some great places in New Orleans that you can go and have a good time. Now, there are some places in New Orleans, like any city, that has its areas that are not very safe. But one thing we should call a safe zone for Essence. The Essence area, that downtown CBD area, the French Quarter should be a safe zone. Family, we should look out for one another. You don't need to be toting guns and none of that. And that's to the natives and to the people who come from out of town too. This is a place where we're coming for the Essence Music Festival of Culture. We're coming to, once again, on a 4th of July weekend after we just finished celebrating Juneteenth on their Independence Day. And I say that loosely, and somebody will probably get mad at me and say, man, didn't you serve in the military? I did. But at the time when I was serving in the military, I didn't know a lot about Juneteenth. See, even though I was reading, I wasn't reading a lot about my people. So now that I know a few things, I'm happy that we have our own day of independence, along with another day of independence for this whole country with people who don't look like me. But at the end of the day, and I don't even want to start talking about my reparations, but we'll get that at another time. Here's what I want to say. Look out for one another.
Yeah. Accountability. That's what the podcast is about tonight. Accountability.
If you see somebody in distress, take a moment just to ask one simple question. Are you okay?
You okay?
Are you okay? And if they say they fine, you did your part. If they say, hey, I'm fine. Hey, and I don't know, is this brother trying to be on the show or what? Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. So, we really got to do better about being our brothers.
If we don't decide
to
step up and take care of one another, if we don't decide to step up and take care of one another and look out for one another, then we're no better than the lowest of lows.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, brother, if I see you walking down the street and you look like you need some help, I may not be the one to give you the help, but I can be the one to say, hey, man, you all right? You need anything? You good? Especially when we know we're on display.
Right.
We are on starting from tomorrow to Sunday. New Orleans and Essence Festival of Culture will be on display to the world. Any violence, any thievery, anything of negativity will be exacerbated times 10. It's going to be exaggerated times 10. It's going to be spoke about times 10. So if they have anything to say about New Orleans and the black people coming to New Orleans, I wanted to be, man, these people had a ball.
Right.
These were the best. The way they took care of each other, the way they looked out for each other. Because let me tell you something, and I'm gonna hold this brother that does this podcast with me accountable for this because I know he's gonna do it. He's gonna post all of the positivity you can handle.
Oh, you better believe it.
Now, here's the thing. There's gonna be a bunch of folks that's gonna post as much negativity as they can as well.
Right. They're gonna show you
because this is what you're gonna see. Look, all weekend, look.
The foolishness. Right.
That's what you're gonna see.
Right. That's true.
My thing is, if we see people in need of help and all you doing is videotaping, come on, people.
Right.
Who do we hold accountable for this?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
We got to start looking at each other. We got to start looking at each other because we are getting ready to be on the worldwide stage for the next 4 days.
Come on.
And it's going to be from ABC, NBC, Fox, cable, any show
CNN
you think of will be talking about Essence Festival of Culture this weekend.
Right.
And the last thing I want is there to be breaking news. We have a mass shooting in New Orleans during. Now, think about this. They're not going to say there's a mass shooting in New Orleans. They're going to say there's a mass shooting in New Orleans during the Essence Festival of Culture.
That part.
Because last year, there was 3 or 4 people that got shot on Bourbon Street.
Correct.
During Essence Festival.
Yes. This is
correct. I love the fact that the police chief came out and said this shooting had absolutely nothing to do with Essence.
Correct.
This was a situation that has been going on as it was a what they call it
ongoing feud.
Payback for something else that had happened
ongoing feud.
A month before. This didn't have anything to do with Essence. And I was so glad he said that because they were ready to pounce on that. So now we're going to hold one another accountable. And I told you this I was going to say it 50 times tonight. This show is about accountability. My brother said he's downtown CBD. It's whether the temperature was 105 in the CBD. At some point, somebody needs to say, all right, y'all, we're going to have a good time, but we're not going to be foolish.
Right.
Because I don't want anyone to have a stroke, a heat stroke, pass out from alcohol poisoning or whatever. We're going to have a good time, and I will be my brother's keeper. Right. That's what I want everybody to think and how they carry themselves. I am my brother's keeper.
Now I do have a few things I do want to say, and y'all just laugh with me. If you're coming down to New Orleans and you have those Mario boots, those red Mario boots, if I see you, I'm going to take a picture of you and I'm posting that picture. I'm just telling you right now. Right now. Now, when it comes down to listen. Here's how you know you rolling with your peoples and your people have your best intention. Ladies and gentlemen, I was about to go the dream team. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. If you know that your girlfriend about to walk out and she ain't looking up to par, ladies,
we about to go here. Bro.
I
guess so.
Yeah, I got.
Let's go. Come on,
it's accountability.
Ladies, accountability. All right, let's go.
Ladies, tell your girlfriend, you fine as wine, but I wouldn't wear that. Fellas, if your boy getting ready to come out in his little brother's t-shirt, and you know that he ain't really got a 6-pack, he got a keg, you might need to say, hey man, hey partner, bruh, I know you've been hitting that iron, but you ain't been doing them crunches. So bruh, don't hurt yourself, help yourself. So that's what you listen. And I don't know how you can do it because sometimes, listen, I had to get the hey. Let me show you accountability.
Just your size don't mean you need to wear it.
I can talk accountability because any man who has a wife, a significant other, or someone that they've been in a long-term relationship about, you want to talk accountability, I can give it to you. Honey, where we gonna go eat? She'll say that to you, honey, where we gonna go eat? And you'll say, oh, you want me to choose? Yeah, please. And then you start choosing. And after 10 choices, you finally say this. Well, why don't you go on and choose? No. Well, I done told you 10 places.
Dude,
Brother Brown,
let me
it's
tell you
back to
something.
you.
No, you ain't gonna throw that one back to me. Look, this podcast has taken a turn tonight. It's all about accountability, man. We're talking about accountability tonight. And at the end of the day, you know, like that brother said, just because they make it in your size don't mean you need to wear it.
Right. And that goes way for brothers too. Hold up.
But here's the thing. You have the right to wear whatever you want.
Hold it. If you look like me and Brother Brown, right. You can get what you want. You can wear what you want. I can't tell you that. But I'll just tell you this. Like, for example, you know, I try to stay as much. Listen, there's some things you're not going to see me walking around looking like Fetty Wap. It just ain't going to happen. I'm just saying. Listen, now don't get me wrong. There are some brothers out there who are my age with gray beards who have been working out, doing good things, and they can throw on them youngsters' clothes, and they look like them. They silver foxes walking around with that youngster. I ain't one of those. I'm just sorry. It ain't me. I'm trying to stay age appropriate because, you know, last time I checked, I'm headed toward a certain number, and that number ain't no young number. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, we take good care of ourselves, but still try to, you know, come on, family, you know who you are. To me, ain't nothing better than a person who know who they are, can dress how they need to dress, and be classy with it. That's where I give a lot of folks a lot of respect. And you're going to see a lot of things. Brothers, don't get yourself hurt out there with your better half trying to break your neck. Because essence, listen, they got a lot of stuff for the women. They got a lot of stuff for the men. Just make sure you got yourself together and be respectable to one another. Be respectable.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about accountability.
We're talking about all different personalities, all different shapes, sizes, and colors coming together for one reason and one reason only. And that's
for the culture. For the
culture. But what you do is we have a tendency to forget, and we mix that alcohol. And we mix that heat. With them black folk. And we forget the term brother and sister. We forget that. We cannot allow ourselves to be put on display negatively this weekend. The whole world is watching New Orleans, Louisiana. Yep, New Orleans is Louisiana. Don't nobody call and tell me New Orleans is not Louisiana. I don't want to hear that foolishness.
Hold it. There are some people that believe that. Hold on. There are some folks, Brother Brown, who believe that the only place in Louisiana is New Orleans. The rest of us are just supporting Cass. See, New Orleans is like the infantry. Everybody else, we just support. You remember when Eddie Kane said they only here to see one person?
Man.
Go ahead, my brother.
No, listen. You know, it's an opportunity for us to really choose to share the responsibility of having a good time, share the responsibility of uplifting the culture, sharing the responsibility of making sure we are all one big family, at least for the next 4 days. When that happens, we should go through this entire 4 days and there not be any negativity put out there by us. Now, we're not going to be able to avoid, like my brother said, we're not going to be able to avoid these restaurants that feel as though they don't want to serve people of color because they don't tip. All of these things that's come out over the past several years. These hotels that are turning off escalators and elevators are not working. They're taking certain things out of the rooms. I read an article right before we came on the air that there's a hotel and they didn't name the brand, but they're taking ice buckets and they're taking the glasses and everything out of the rooms.
Oh my.
Because they said that the people steal the glasses or they take the glasses out of the hotel and they never, and I'm like, but that's no different than during Mardi Gras. That's no different than during Sugar Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not quite understanding that practice. But again, we've never been given, equal, consideration in certain situations. We're not.
Correct.
So what we have to do is at some point, we have to remember our economic power. We talked about that earlier in the show. But we have to make sure we hold people accountable, not just in regards to us holding each other accountable for safety, but these people giving us the services that we deserve. The Superdome has been accommodating Essence since its conception.
Right.
And I heard this is one of the first years there's no super lounges.
Right. And a lot of folks know that has absolutely nothing to do with this, with Essence. That has to do with the renovation of the Superdome. That's why there's no super lounges. And because of that, and because Essence and the great people of color who run Essence finding out a way to bring more economic power to Essence, they probably won't bring the super lounges back, because they're now trying to make it where you can go other places. Right now, the cheapest ticket to get into Essence is $80. That puts you in the 600 section, touching the top of the Caesars. I think it's called the Caesars Superdome now. Mm-hmm. And listen, now they have little venues where you can pay $25 and catch a SWV, $25, catch an Escape, and that's the only people performing, but you're in a more club-like atmosphere. You're in a more natural atmosphere. And it's a way to bring more economics to the city of New Orleans and spread the wealth around, where the wealth is just not literally at the Montreal Convention Center and at the Superdome, where everybody can get a piece of the action.
House of Blues,
right?
Tipitina's,
come on,
the Sanger,
Howlin' Wolf, all that place, right? The Fullmore, the Metro. There'll be things going on throughout the city. Just listen, family, be careful, take care of yourself, and listen. Let's talk about something I think right now, and I'm going to switch gears on my brother, but I think we need to talk about this too, because this happened to me today. Family, before you go pointing fingers at folks and saying bad things about folks, maybe sometimes you do need to look yourself in the mirror and say, did I do something maybe to make these people feel this kind of way? Because many a times we're quick to say, and listen, I'm not saying these things don't exist, because they do. But there are times that you do know there are folk out there that do bad things, do things that aren't right. So sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, did I do something to make people start treating me this way? Mm-hmm. And if the answer is yes, then guess what? Don't get mad, make adjustments.
Yeah, but you know what we also have to take into account for?
Come on.
We get lumped together.
Right. Come on.
We got to we have to address that as well.
Come on.
If one person did something, then we all did it.
Right.
And we have to be truthful about that. And we have to look at it for what it sure enough is. And that's, we get lumped together. If one black person does something, then black people do that. If that brother is disruptive, black people don't know how to act.
Right.
Not that brother doesn't know how to act.
Right.
Black people don't know how to act.
Right.
So, we have to stop allowing ourselves to be lumped together, because guess what? The other man don't like being lumped together.
Right.
They sure don't like being lumped together.
Come on.
I was asked by one of my white counterparts several years ago, why do all black people, when they get a little money, they go buy a big Cadillac? And at the beginning, I couldn't believe that he asked me that. But, I just say, well, the same reason every time, white people get money, they go buy a trailer. And he kind of looked at me with this look like, okay. He was okay with it. But the fact that naiveness, that foolishness that was in his mind should have never been allowed to come out of his mouth, because we're not monolithic. We're not all the same.
Correct.
We're not all the same. We definitely are a festival of culture.
Right.
Which incorporates so many different things.
Right. Very true.
That's one of the things that we have to start holding people accountable. What is this podcast about today? Accountability. We cannot allow people to lump us all together. Because guess what? I think the brother that does wrong is bad because he did wrong, not because he's black.
Right. His color has absolutely nothing to do.
It has nothing to do with
his behavior.
That brother making poor decisions.
Come on. That part.
That part. So this brother just making poor decisions. So now you're going to say, because he made a poor decision, black people make poor decisions.
Oh, no.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to fly, but I hear you.
Right, but they do that, and not understanding there are underlying things that you don't want to talk about, like systemic racism, like 400 years. 400 years of conditioning where you taught us not to trust one another, not to love one another, and not to be in unity, because you literally separated us. Because guess what? They didn't bring slaves over here. They brought politicians, mathematicians, teachers, architects, engineers, doctors, lawyers, and they made them slaves.
They also created this mentality by putting us all together and controlling the resources. It is nothing that will make another person turn on than lack of resources.
Come on.
They put us all together, and they put one. And of course, this is just a metaphor. So for those folks that have tried to make it literal, they put 50 people in the middle of a room and put one chicken. Not a cooked chicken, just one chicken. Now, if I got children and a family to feed, and my brother has children and a family to feed, and we start looking like, man, I need that chicken. I got to have that. And there becomes the battle between one another. And what has happened is that lack of resources has not changed in certain socioeconomic areas.
Right.
Certain social and economic conditions still exist. So, the thing about it is, when we see, middle class and upper class black people, you don't see the crime as much as you do when you go into the inner city housing projects where resources are so limited. Now, we have to be able, though, to break that cycle and see through the master plan that they have. We have to see through that master plan.
Right.
And start to say, 400 years of that conditioning, it's time to break that. And I am my brother's keeper.
Correct.
I will not kill you, brother. What we will do is we will figure out a way to start a business so that we can both make some money.
Right.
And support our family.
We've got to be in a place where everybody wins. Listen, here's one of the things when we talk about accountability.
Listen, Joe, I'm sorry, bro, because I was told I cut you off too much today.
No, handle it.
Here's the thing. We don't have to be in the same where we all win, but we all have to have the same opportunity to win.
Listen. If you didn't know what I was about to say, my name ain't Joe. Listen to what I'm about to hit you with. Somebody spoke to me today, and I had the awesome privilege when President Obama made his way to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I had the awesome privilege of being a part of the press corps that was there. Question was asked, and here's the way President Obama asked it. Somebody said, how do we bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots? And the answer was the following. We cannot control the end result of anything. However, if everybody has the same opportunity from the same starting line, we should all be satisfied. And that was profound to me because he made it crystal clear that everybody ain't had the same opportunity from the same starting position, from the same starting line. And because of that, many of us have been deprived of what you and I, prime example, many of us have to do 5 times as much as somebody who don't look like us. You know, we have to be 5 times as good. We got to be on top of this. We got to do this, do that. You know, first of all, they tell you go get education. Responsibility. You go get the education, then they say, well, I can't make you the supervisor because you ain't got the experience. So this guy here has got the experience. He ain't got the education. I'm going to make him over you. Then let's say
the education, but I don't have the experience. Yeah.
Okay. You got the education, but not the experience. Let's say it's the other way. They always change the rules to fit the narrative that best quantifies them making the move that they made to basically suppress you. That's where we have to wake up and take responsibility as our brothers and our sisters keepers to say, I can build this great community and I don't need them. Because guess what? I built their great community under slave labor. Let's take the slave master out and build our own great community for the glory of ourselves. That's what I got to say. Brother Brown, it's on you, my friend.
Hey, man, no, that's real talk. That goes back to what we was talking about in regards to holding our brothers accountability. Each one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to where you feel you've made it, bring a brother with you. Put that brother on. You know, we are at that point now where we have to stop. I told you from the opening part of this podcast, we were going to talk about accountability.
Come on.
It's time for us to stop looking at other people and blaming them for our condition. We are brilliant people. We are absolutely brilliant people. That's why we've been able to grow and strive and overcome over all of these obstacles that's been thrown at us, because we're brilliant people. But we do have some things that we can't shake. And that's like the violence we perpetrate towards one another, the way we're allowing negative imagery to be acceptable because any type of imagery is acceptable. I mean, it's good. No, there is such a thing as negative imagery.
Come on.
Stop it. We talked about that with the BET Awards the other night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, you know, some of this just ain't really good. I wouldn't want my daughter to be doing that. I wouldn't want my granddaughter to be doing that. So we have to stop some of the things that we have yet to shake off. And I believe as Black people, because I believe in me some us.
Right. Come on.
We're going to get past this. We're going to get over this too. We will. But right now we've overcome, you know, prejudice and we're still dealing with racism, but we're still conquering and overcoming. You know, we still have some systemic racism. But what we got to get over, because we're still beating those things, because we're still achieving.
Right.
But the things we have to get past is the violence we perpetrate towards each other and the negative outlook we have about one another. People that look like us. We got to stop doing that. And I'm challenging you folks that's going down to Essence. Love your brother this weekend.
Come on.
Have a ball. Have a great time.
Come on.
Be responsible for one another. Yes. The last thing I'm going to say about that is I am my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. Everybody going down to Essence. I am my brother's keeper.
Hey, that part right there. Now, family, listen, if you can't make it down to Essence and you have Hulu, you can watch what is going down at the Superdome on Hulu. Again, this year, the Essence Music Festival of Culture, all the events in the Superdome will be broadcast on Hulu, and it will only be main stage events. Unfortunately, this year, due to, once again, let's get the real word out there, because there was a lot of false words being thrown out there about Essence this, Essence that. Essence had absolutely nothing to do with the Super Lounges not being a part of the Essence Music Festival this year. It had everything to do with the New Orleans Superdome, the Caesars Palace Superdome, and the renovations that they're doing. And they're doing some beautiful renovations. Family, be safe. No, it's going to be hot, hot, hot. Make sure you hydrate. And watch out for your brother. Watch out for your sister. And enjoy yourself. Guess what? Life is too short for you not to enjoy yourself. But you can do it with accountability and responsibility. With that being said, I got some big ups I got to give before I turn it back over to Edward J. Brown. First, big ups. Big ups to my home state of Tennessee. Big ups to Tennessee State, another HBCU I got a lot of love for, because they have just now brought in the first hockey program in HBCU history. So there are going to be some brothers on some ice skates hitting some hockey putts. And all I can say is, just like when Tiger Woods got into golf, watch out, because something big going to come from this. Now, big ups to the LSU Tigers for winning the College World Series for the great state of Louisiana. So, and I hope the tradition keeps on going. Angel Reese did it. Hey, I need my ring. I need that thing. So guess what? We are in the state of champions. For those of you who are not from the South and not from Louisiana, you are going down to the city, state, continent, country, world of planet of New Orleans. Enjoy yourself and understand something. If somebody tell you, you don't know what's going on around here, believe them. And if somebody says something that you don't understand, believe them. Because when I first got here in 1995, a lady said, "Here's what I remember what she said, like it was yesterday." She said, "Shad baby," she said, "Believe you me, Shad baby, we about to go over here, yeah." And I looked as if I had heard something I had never heard before.
We're about to go over here, yeah. That what you said?
Right. And then she said, "Just believe you me, no." I said, wait a minute. And it made me realize something. Yeah, I called it what it is. Somebody laughing, but it is. It is the city, state, country, continent, planet. Don't forget the planet of New Orleans. That's why Mayor Cantrell is the way she is. She know she really over a whole planet.
New Orleans is not Louisiana.
Don't tell TC I said that, because she'll see me at the Bayou Classic and say, "What's this about my planet?" I'll be like, "Yeah, it's your planet, all right. It's your planet."
Look, she'll find your essence.
She will. She'll be on Radio Row talking about, "I need to talk to the little bald-headed dude back there. Yeah, JD, I need to holler at you." Listen, family, we do this because we love y'all. And look, let me post this up here and say this right now. And I'm going to give big ups to everybody on here. First, I'm going to give big ups to my brother, Positive Choices Counseling Service. The reason I'm able to do Wellness Wednesday is because of the great financial contribution that this brother makes to me and to this programming, because we believe that your mental health matters. He believes it so much, he puts his money where his mouth is. The other folks, when it comes down to Essence, not this show, is, I got to give it up to Briscoe Chiropractic. I got to give it up to Timmy Chasson as he's running for state representative, District 44, and Josh Edmonds as he's running for school board for District 3. Listen, family, I can't do what I do if it wasn't for these folks. These folks are great folks to me, and I'm thankful for them, for all they do, for 100 BLK, and for me personally. And that brother right there, that is my brother from another mother. We will be on here doing this until we can't do it no more. And that's even if one day both of our dollars don't work like they used to, we still gonna be on here, because my promise is, if one person gets something from one of these broadcasts that makes them take a U-turn and not commit suicide, not fall into depression, go and get checked up where they don't wind up with stage 4 because they catch it when it's in its early stages, we've done what we needed to do, because we truly believe that a healthy you is a better you. So with that being said, Brother Edward J. Brown, the floor is yours.
Hey, you know what I said? We always do this. We always say this. If nobody else told you today,
hold on. Stop.
Who?
Stop.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna do something right now. I normally don't do this. Let me see. Do I got? Is this Jeff Fox on the line? Is this
Joe? I've been watching you, Joe.
Look, I got you on the line right now. What's going now? Listen, this is syndicated. This is the big dog. This is one of the dudes who took me. I was a program director, a little small program director, and this brother had a syndicated show, and his syndicated show has went bonkers. He is there with the Tom Joyners. He is there with the DL Hugleys. He is there with the D.D. McGuires. This is Jeff Fox, the Fox that rocks the box. What's going on, Jeff Fox?
Joe, just like the brother said, you got to be held accountable.
Come on.
You know, I'm calling you. First of all, to tell you thank you, because if it weren't for you, I wouldn't gotten started. I haven't forgotten about you. I've learned a lot, and I want to share that with you.
I love you, man.
At another time.
Yes, sir.
If people don't know how real of a brother you are, you're about as real as they get.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you for the love, man. You almost got tears in my eyes.
People that know you, they know that.
That's right. We know the folks that know him. Yeah.
Folks that know him, right? He go out on a limb for you, where nobody else will. Joe Dupree will.
Thank you, brother.
He will. And I just wanted. I saw you guys doing the Facebook Live. It was very good, you know. And I just wanted to chime in and say hello. And I want to get you on my syndicated show, Joe. I ain't forgot about you. I just learned a lot. You know, this is a long process to get these things up and going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to get you on there right before Essence.
All right, brother.
And just lay down some of the things that we need to look out for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you, brother. You know, Jeff, you've always been my friend, my brother, one of my mentors. You know, one of the coldest bass players I know. So, you know, this is my man. This is my man, 50 Grand. And I really appreciate you chiming in. I was getting ready to get off, but now that you done came on, man, look, the floor is yours. The floor is yours.
You know what? Hey, Joe, you never know who's listening and who's watching.
That's right.
You know, and you brothers were laying down some real heavy science. You know, you never know. That social media is very, very powerful. You know what I mean? It's a big platform, and you never know. Sometimes people on watching you, but they in the cut.
Yeah.
You know, they're just checking you out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was in the cut. I was just checking you out. What are you talking about? Let me call this.
Man, I love you, Jeff Fox. Jeff Fox, listen, national syndicated radio, Jeff Fox, you can catch him. How many markets are you in now, Jeff?
I got 20 now.
20 markets throughout the nation. It's the Jeff Fox show. And I mean, Jeff be rocking, be rolling. I just did.
Let me tell you how much I love this brother, because syndication is a hard game. And anytime you can get an affiliate, you snatch it and you hold on to it. But Joe was with a station that did him wrong. And they called me to say, come to join us. I said, nope.
Yeah. Hey.
You can keep that station. So I let that go.
That's my dude. That's my dude. Hey, I love you.
There's no way in the world I'm gonna be on that
you have what you have.
You ain't there. I can't. I gotta sleep at night, Joe.
Man, you my dog. Listen, you and your lovely wife and everything you do. I just finished doing a reggae show. I was doing some drone footage, and Nina was hosting the show. And you know,
Nina?
Yeah, Nina was hosting the show. and Jeff, I love you, man. I always have, always will. And guess what, brother? I never for 1 minute doubted. I know a man of his word when I see him. I just knew that everything has its time and its season. And until my time and season come, I got to keep on moving. And that's what I did.
Oh, yeah. It's just, you know, it's a process.
Yes, sir.
It's still going on. But I'm going to call you tomorrow and break it down.
It's all good, brother. And ladies and gentlemen, my man, Jeff Fox in the building.
Thank you, guys. All the best. Keep up the good work.
Hey, man, appreciate you tuning in.
Appreciate you, Jeff. Hey, now that just made my day, doggone it. Jeff was on the line. It's always good hearing the Fox that rocks the box. And man, listen, like he said, you never know. And once again, that's why me and this brother do what we do. Because many a times in our communities, folks do not talk about mental health. They do not talk about mental health issues. We act like that is taboo when it comes down to communities of color. And at the same time, depression, oppression, and suicide is eating us up alive. and we've got to
Going
do
up through the
better.
roof.
We've got to be our brothers and our sisters keepers, and that's why we're on here. So once again, I'm gonna let my man close it out like he always do.
Hey, you know what we always say? If nobody else told you today, we love you. Peace. See y'all next week.